Euthanasia refers to the means of inducing or bringing about a gentle and easy death. Most of the countries have illegalized the practice of euthanasia by the doctors even when the patient asks for it. However, until today, euthanasia are still being debated among people whether should euthanasia be legalized or not. A 21-year-old patient AB in a persistent vegetative state for 3 years after suffering severe crush chest injury which caused catastrophic and irreversible damage to his brain. The doctor has the opinion that he had no hope of recovery whatsoever. The consultant who cared for AB has reached a conclusion that it would be the best to cease further treatment for him.
Sini saya sedih anak puan ni dia macam dah tak ada masa depan. Dia dah damage dah. Sebab tadi accident ni pun tak ada macam dah rosak sikit. Sini lah. Saya satu sakit sini. Puan boleh tunggu je. Tapi masa sekarang memang dia intervention. Kiranya kalau dalam beberapa bulan dia tak sembuh juga. Assalamualaikum puan. Dah sampai masa ni saya cari. Puan kena dengan tu okey? Sabar ya puan. Sabar ya puan. Sakit. Ya Allah, puan. Saya nak mati bagi saya. Sabar. Sakit. Ya Allah. Bagi saya mati je. Kenapa ni? Saya tak suka sakit. Sakit betul. Okey, macam ni. Okey, macam ni. Kalau betul ni. Ya, saya nak mati. Bagi saya mati je. Sakit betul. Okey, kalau macam tu puan tanda tangan sini. Boleh macam ni. Macam. Tak boleh mati ke doktor? Boleh. Puan mengucap dulu.
The appellant in this case was a 68-year-old man diagnosed with a form of motor neuron disease. The appellant's condition had deteriorated to the extent that he required non-invasive ventilation for approximately 23 hours a day. The appellant had wished to have the option, when he had a prognosis of 6 months or less to live, of taking action to end his life peacefully and with dignity with the assistance of a medical professional at the time of his choosing, while remaining in control of the final act that might be required to bring about his death. However, the law have prevented him from obtaining this assistance with which this case was concerned.
But I personally feel nobody has a right to take a life when he cannot. When he cannot create himself. He will want himself. So that we are not God. We are not God. You know why? Because I read one, a doctor can choose respect gaya of the person. Can. But person talk to a doctor, how can they verify the wishes of the person when they are voiced by a third party? Macam dia dia nak lepas daripada dia punya bebanan. Hakikan. Tapi kadang-kadang dia tak nak mati pun. Tak nak sakit. Dia tapi dia tak tahu. Dia tak nak sakit, dia tak nak menderita, tapi dia pun tak nak mati sebenarnya. Tapi dia macam tak lain. Macam tu. Itulah. Yes. It's actually a committed suicide with another name, a beautiful name. Kan? Sebab macam mana ya, dia tak tu nak cakap bunuh diri. Dia memang nak bunuh diri. Because when they say that, actually dia nak mati. Dia, fikiran dia, macam walaupun tadi dah cakap, dia sebenarnya menjadi sesuatu untuk menyudahi penderitaan dia. Kadang-kadang mungkin dia fikir bukan penderitaan dia, tapi penderitaan orang lain yang membuatkan dia ingin selesaikan semuanya. Yes, it is illegal for a person to take another person life, except according to the law. Contohnya, kita memang dah hukuman mati kan? Hukuman mati sebabkan kalau macam ambil gajah lebih pada berapa gram gitu kan? Jadi hukuman mati tu itu secara legal betul. Boleh. Tak ada salahnya orang hakim tu atau orang yang menembak dia gantung lah kan, sini kan orang ambil nyawa dia, tapi atas sebab lain semuanya tak boleh. Dari pengetahuan doktor, kalau cabut tu pun kalau dia dah mati otak, kalau dia secara technically dia dah tak hidup, otak dia dah mati, dia panggil brain death. Kan dah technically dia hidup hanya sebab jantung dia bergerak, tapi dia tak ada lagi hidup yang membolehkan, ada kualiti tak ada lagi dah. Tak boleh bercakap, tak boleh bertindakan, semua. Jadinya kalau pencabutan tu memerlukan persetujuan dari waris-waris. Sekiranya waris tidak memberi kebenaran, tidak boleh dilakukan. Nombor satu, mungkin negatif cara doktor lah. Sebab orang akan melihat macam doktor ni orang pembunuh. Mungkin dari segi negatifnya lah. Memberikan kekuasaan lebih pada doktor untuk bertindak. Manusia, doktor pun manusia juga. Mungkin benda-benda macam tu boleh membenarkan dia lepas daripada hukuman jenayah. Betul tak? Contohlah. Yang positifnya, mungkin boleh mengurangkan beban keuangan lain. Saya pun tak tahu kan. Contohnya memang orang tu dah terminally ill kan. Dia untuk terus kekal hidup dia memerlukan bukan sedikit kawasan dia kan. Dengan ubat yang mahal, peralatan yang mahal, yang sepatutnya mungkin boleh memberi peluang pada orang lain dengan kualiti hidup yang lebih baik mendapat peluang. Tapi itu juga sangat subjektif. Tapi doktor individu pun tak sukalah kalau misalnya dia menjadi undang-undang yang dibenarkan. Saya rasa sangat menyalahi konsep Islam tersendiri.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. Surah An-Nisa, ayah 29-30, that you should not kill yourselves because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Rahim to you. And he did not use Rahman to show that his Rahmah is descending continuously to those people who are suffering. The Rahmah of Allah continues to come down to them, and it does not stop, it does not end. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to those who are going through suffering and they reach a point of like giving up the patience and they want to end their lives, to end the suffering. This could be due to illness, it could be due to financial reasons, it could be due to some other reasons. But they want to end their lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids when he says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, don't kill yourselves. But he also says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ وَمَنْ قُتِلَ مَظْلُومًا فَقَدْ جَعَلْنَا لِوَلِيِّهِ سُلْطَانًا فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ إِنَّهُ كَانَ مَنْصُورًا. That do not kill others without any justification إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. You're only allowed to kill somebody if he has killed someone else and there is evidence, meaning proof, that he killed somebody unjustly. Only then we kill him. But if he has never killed anyone, it is forbidden upon us to kill him. So it is forbidden upon the medical doctor to administer euthanasia on anybody, to inject him to die because of suffering, because of the pain. It is not allowed. Why? Because we say that pain is actually the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a sign of the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as-sabr has got the highest reward in Islam. The ibadah of as-sabr, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرُهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. The reward of those who observe as-sabr is infinite. So sabr, when one is facing difficulties, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises us is after difficulties when he says فَإِنَّمَا الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّمَا الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, and he did not say the opposite, to say that فَإِنَّمَا الْعُسْرِ, he did not say فَإِنَّمَا الْيُسْرِ عُسْرًا, that where there is ease there is also difficulty. So to kill oneself is haram. To request the doctor to kill somebody is also haram. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-muhyi, the one who gives life, and is also al-mumit, the one who has a right to take away one's life. So nobody has a right to take away one's life but Allah. So except in those situations where Allah said that man qatala is an-nafsu bin-nafs, one who kills somebody has to be killed, and that is order from Allah. Where there is no order to kill somebody, it is forbidden upon us to kill him. The Prophet ﷺ says that one of you suffers and continues to suffer, and the sins continue to drop, and every suffering brings that kind of situation where the sins drop until he is like a tree which has lost all its leaves. So what does it mean? Suffering is a kafara. It is expiation of the sins committed. So one has to face the suffering patiently and should not request the doctor to inject him to die. Neither his family should do that, nor the doctor should do it. So the person is forbidden from requesting for death, the family is forbidden, the doctor is forbidden, among others. There are so many other reasons. It is not permitted, provided that he is conscious, and provided that there is a kind of hope for him to be conscious. If he's dead, he's dead. The doctor will say he's dead. But if he's not dead yet, simply because he's in a coma, he should not be killed. Because euthanasia means killing someone. That's why they call it mercy killing. According to the doctor, it is in the interest of the patient. But Allah says what is in the interest of the patient is as-sabr, patience. So we cannot rely on the doctor when Allah says what is in the interest of the patient is as-sabr, to be forgiven for the sins he committed. Because the suffering is a kafara for him. It is a cleansing. Suffering cleanses him from the sins he committed. There's Baitul Mal. It is obligated on Baitul Mal to pay for the medical bills. What is zakah? Zakah that is collected every month actually. What is zakah? Zakah is to cover this. What is takaful al-ijtimai? Takaful is the insurance that every Muslim is contributing to the welfare of others. So what is takaful al-ijtimai? Which is social welfare, to help, to assist those who are in need. Removing a life support machine is not killing. What is forbidden in Islam is killing. In Sharia, you will not find the word euthanasia. There is no equivalence for that in Sharia. The Quran uses the word qatl, killing, and forbids killing of any kind. Because the life support machine is removed when the doctor knows the patient actually is already dying, there's no any hope. So when he removes the life support machine, he's not killing the patient. He's not killing the patient. Why? Because life will come to the end naturally.
Netherlands is the first European country to successfully legalize euthanasia. The law legalizing euthanasia, law for the termination of life on request and assisted suicide, was passed on April 12, 2001 and came into effect on April 1, 2002. Since the date euthanasia was legalized, the practice has increased more than triple. In 2016, it has reached to 6,091 cases. In October 2016, the Dutch government tabled a draft bill intended to allow for new legal guidelines for the assisted suicide of the elderly, even if they are not suffering, pleading that they have fulfilled or completed their life. The law will not be to relieve suffering, but to respect the individual autonomy. Later on, it was concluded that the notion of accomplished life could not be recognized. This is due to the fact that the 2002 law is already wide enough and it could pave the way to euthanasia under the influence of some families wishing to finish off elderly and vulnerable relatives. Belgium is the second European country that legalized euthanasia. The law legalizing and approving this practice has been passed on May 16, 2002 by the Belgian Parliament. Any mercy killing has to be registered with and assessed by the Federal Control and Evaluation Commission. The Commission has to judge whether the conditions and procedures laid down for a legal killing on request are fulfilled. In Malaysia, there is still no decided cases on euthanasia. Current practice by Malaysian doctors is similar to decision of Adele, which is withholding and withdrawal of treatment is considered lawful, where continued treatment is not in the best interest of the patient. Penal Code make involuntary and active euthanasia unlawful. It falls under Section 300 of the Penal Code when the doctor has the required intention. The punishment of this act would amount to death penalty as stated in Section 302. Any attempt towards it would be governed by Section 307. Active voluntary euthanasia is covered by Section 299 and would be punished under Section 304. Moreover, under Penal Code, a doctor who assists a terminally ill patient to end his life can be liable for abetment of suicide. From all this section that has been laid down in the Penal Code, it can be concluded that Malaysia does not recognize the act of euthanasia. Tahan dulu.
Doktor! Saya nak mati, doktor. Bagi tolong saya mati. Tak boleh. Tak boleh. Sabar. Tak puan. Saya nak mati. Okey, kalau awak betul-betul nak saya sampai dengan awak. Tak boleh mati ke, doktor? Boleh. Puan mengucap dulu. Alhamdulillah.